Could Shemar Stewart be coming back to Aggieland? Let's talk about it next year on Locked On Aggies.
You are Locked On Aggies, your daily podcast on the Texas A&M Aggies, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in. You are Locked On the Texas A&M Aggies. I am your host, Matt Galatzan, publisher of Texas A&M Aggies on SI. Thank you for making Locked On your first listen every day. Joining me today is my hardworking staff member over there at Texas A&M Aggies on SI, Aaron Raley. Aaron, we got some pretty crazy news today. Reported news, potential news. Maybe not going to happen, maybe going to happen, but it's worth talking about. Shemar Stewart apparently could be returning to Texas A&M because of this giant Cincinnati Bengals fiasco. He has yet to sign his deal because of some language in his contract that is sort of unprecedented. And, the Bengals, I don't know what the Bengals are doing here. They're trying to set a new precedent for first round picks. It's some weird language that I'm not an agent. I don't know all the particulars of everything, but he has yet to sign his contract. He is holding out, and that means that he could potentially enter next year's draft if he does not get signed by the deadline. Or another report out there from CBS Sports says he could potentially return to Texas A&M, which we're going to get into here in a minute. But first of all, give me your thoughts on this whole Shemar Stewart situation and where it sits.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with Shemar, obviously, and it doesn't surprise me that he's holding out. I know like a lot of rookies haven't signed deals. Like I think they said only like 2 rookies have signed their contracts. A lot of rookies are holding out. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't know what Cincinnati's doing here. I'm still kind of questionable about them because defense is such a huge need for them right now. Because last year you had them putting up like 35, 40 points and still taking L's somehow, even with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and all those guys doing what they do. So with a defensive asset like Stewart, even though a lot of people have kind of downgraded like his low sack production while he was at A&M, this was a big pickup in the draft for the Bengals, and I would really hate to watch this just slip through their hands.
Yeah, I mean, look, especially considering the fact that they have not signed Trey Hendrickson yet, and he is furious with that team, and he's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. They don't really have anybody to play defensive end right now that can play at a high level. Shemar Stewart is a raw player. He has a lot to improve on in his game, but all the athletic tools are there. The talent is there. Everything is there. He just needs to put it all together and put it on the field. And if he can do that, then he could be a real asset to them, like you said. And the idea of him entering the 2026 NFL draft is one thing. I can buy that. I think that's, based on what the Bengals are doing, which is basically there's some language in his contract that basically they want to have some sort of non-guaranteed part of this deal where if he's injured or something else happens, then some of his contract is not guaranteed. And no other number 17 overall pick in the draft has had this issue, and it's a new thing that the Bengals are trying to push forward. So I don't blame him for holding out. I think it's totally within his realm and his rights to do so. But the other report that came out today from Bud Elliott of CBS Sports on the Cover 3 College Football podcast is that he has been working out. Stewart has been working out with Texas A&M this offseason as opposed to being in Cincinnati over the last couple of weeks, and he could even return to Texas A&M. And Bud Elliott writes, a guy who has had some good A&M stuff in the past, he hit me. He's like, hey, Shemar might end up back here. He's been at College Station. He's been fully involved in workouts. He could try and come back and play again this season and go into the draft again next year. I don't know if this is possible. I've been led to believe that this is not really possible. Yeah. But Kelsey Conway of the Cincinnati Enquirer later clarified that Stewart was using the Aggies facilities by himself, not participating in the team's workouts. She also noted that this is very common among players who do not yet live in their NFL team city. She said Stewart lives in Texas when he's not in Cincinnati. I can confirm from a source that he is training at A&M by himself using their facilities to get ready for the upcoming season, not with the Texas A&M team. And honestly, in order for him to return to Texas A&M, there would have to be some sort of legal I don't want to say battle because it's not, I don't know that it would be a battle, but there would have to be some sort of court ruling that allows him to return to Texas A&M. It's not what the general rule is. Once you enter the NFL draft, you cannot return to your college. You get past a certain deadline and then you can't go back after you've declared. But let's just have some fun with this, Aaron. If somehow, and granted, guys, I know it's July. We're doing our best to pump out some good content for you here. I know that this is kind of it's kind of out there,
over a month and a half away.
Yeah, it's a report, and it's worth talking about because if somehow Stewart can get the legal ruling to return to Texas A&M, that would be, for lack of a better term, massive. Right, Aaron?
Couldn't agree more. I think should that happen, should he somehow get through whatever legal situation he had to get through to come back to College Station, I think one thing he would really want to hammer down is upping his sack total, even though I know he didn't really make a big deal about it during like the combine when he was talked to during the combine and everything. But I mean, it was kind of hard for him to get sacks when he's playing alongside guys in College Station, like when Adrian Cooper was there and Torian York's there now. They're the guys that were getting the production. So, I mean, he just kind of got what they had left over. But I think should he return to that team, that would be like, I guess, a key part of his game that he would want to focus on.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the pressures were there for Shemar. There's no doubt about that. The talent was there. He was doing all the right things. He just wasn't quite getting there to finish. And I think that I was a very big advocate that he should return to College Station for one more year so that he could kind of iron some of these things out. But in the grand scheme of things, like I said, totally hypothetical. He'd have to go through some legal stuff to make this happen. If it is going to happen, and if it does happen, putting him with Cassius Howell on the other side, the other defenders they have coming back, giving him another year with Mike Elko and this defensive staff, alongside Albert Regis and in front of Torian York and what I expect to be a very good defense. He could, and I like I said, I expect this to be a very good defense. He could be the piece that puts this thing over the top and makes this one of the best defenses in the SEC. Do you agree?
Wholeheartedly, especially since they lost Shamar Turner and Nick Scorton too. There's like some big holes that they need to fill on defense, and having him back would certainly be a benefit.
Yeah, and it would be a really fun story. It would have the potential to be kind of game changing in college football if it happened. And now, like I've said a couple times, trying to preface this and not get anybody too excited, this would be completely unprecedented. You'd have to go through some legal channels to make this happen. But like I said, if it does happen, it could make things very interesting going forward in college football. The idea that somebody could potentially return after, maybe somebody doesn't like getting drafted where they got drafted and they don't want to sign their contract. I don't know. There's a million different ways this could go and score him out of control. So even if he attempts to do it, I don't think that the courts would rule in his favor and he would have to enter the draft again. But it's certainly fun. It's certainly worth talking about. And it's something that I think all Aggie fans should keep an eye on. We've got a great story up about it on Texas A&M Aggies on SI. It's something that we're going to monitor here on Locked On Aggies going forward. But another thing that was pretty exciting for Texas A&M over the weekend, I mean, we had SEC Media Days. We've had a lot of stuff going on in Aggieland, despite it being the summer. But over the weekend, we had the MLB Draft. So coming back after this break, Aaron and I are going to break down where the Aggies ended up in the MLB Draft. And he's a big baseball guy, as you can tell, Dodgers fan as it seems, and he'll be able to give you the lowdown on how all these guys sit, where they are. So stick with us after the break, and we'll be right back. Today's show is brought to you by Gametime. We've all been there, logging on early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping. That's where Gametime comes in. Gametime makes concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, and you can save up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. Are you tired of endless scrolling trying to find the best deal? Gametime Zone Deals pick the best seats in your section for you. Take the guesswork out of buying concert show tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, Aaron. MLB Draft was over the weekend. Texas A&M, I feel like, was very well represented. I think they had 7 guys drafted overall. I'll go through their list real quick, and then you can kind of tell me what you think about each guy after I do that. We're going to start with Jace Laviolette, number 27 overall pick to the Cleveland Guardians. Then we had Justin Lampkin go to the Kansas City Royals with the 71st overall pick. Shortstop Kaden Kent to the Yankees. I don't have the pick in front of me here, but he went to the Yankees. Boston Red Sox picked up Miles Patton. Caden Wilson, left-handed pitcher, went to the Miami Marlins. Wyatt Hensler went to the Washington Nationals, and Ryan Prager also to the Cleveland Guardians, joining Jace Laviolette. A lot of pitchers for the Aggies getting picked. Let's start with Jace. What do you think about him landing with Cleveland, and how do you think he's going to make his way through that system?
Well, Jace is Jace, and I mean, watching him play the past 3 years in person, I've seen a lot of like major league tools from him. Just how his hands flow while he's swinging. His defensive play is nothing short of professional potential. With the Guardians, of course, this all depends on how quick he moves up the farm system and the AA and AAA and all that. But if he was to get the call up tomorrow, this would obviously be a great addition for Cleveland. He would join an outfield that already has an all-star outfielder in Stephen Kwan. He's got the speed, and he's already got a Gold Glove award as well. And his expertise would be great for a young talent like Jace.
Yeah, and obviously one of the best players in Texas A&M baseball history. And he's probably got the best chance out of all these guys to make some noise early in the MLB, I would think. So
Yes.
glad to see him go in the first round. Why don't we go down the list, and you can tell me, which of these guys you think you're most interested in watching here going forward. I mean, we've got 4 left-handed pitchers in there, third baseman, shortstop. What do you got on these guys? Where do you think they're going to end up, and how they're going to do?
I'm personally looking forward to seeing how Caden Kent does with the Yankees. Like I said before, obviously this always depends on how fast they go through the farm system. But Anthony Volpe, the current shortstop for the Yankees, he's doing good, but probably just not like where Yankees fans expect him to be, especially not after the year he had last year, leading the Yankees to the World Series and all that. I want to say he's only got 10 homers this season, which is a little bit of a downgrade in his production. But yeah, same with Jace. I've seen Caden play, and I think I can count on my hands the amount of times that I saw a ground ball get past his glove, like that he could actually field. And so the Yankees are for sure getting a great defensive asset, and Caden's also got a little bit of a clutch factor. Saw in the game against South Carolina where he hit the second grand slam of the ninth inning to walk it off for the Aggies against South Carolina. And so I can only imagine how that would translate over to a postseason situation. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Caden Kent does in the Bronx.
Yeah, and also, like I said, we've got these 4 pitchers that were all drafted as well. Justin Lampkin, the left-handed pitcher to all 4 of them are left-handed pitchers. So Justin Lampkin to the Kansas City Royals, Miles Patton to the Red Sox, Caden Wilson to the Marlins, and Ryan Prager to the Guardians. Which one of these guys do you think has the best chance to make some noise? Because, I mean, odds are the deeper you go in the draft, especially in the MLB, the less likely it is that you make it to the big show.
Right.
There's only so many spots going forward in these systems, and so many prospects that come through. But all 4 of these guys are very talented. They all did great things for Texas A&M in their own right. Ryan Prager has been fantastic over his time in Aggieland. But I want to get your pick. Who do you think of this group has the best chance to succeed as a pitcher?
I want to say, I don't know if I'm necessarily picking him, but I just want to say this Prager in general. He is a great pitcher. It's been great watching him throw. He's definitely got what it takes to make it to the show. Um, but I kind of feel for him because he got drafted last year, 3rd round by the Angels, I think with the 81st overall pick. And then he had kind of a down year in 2025, which obviously the whole team had kind of a down year in 2025. But um, I don't know. Prager just kind of got lit up in situations that sometimes I felt like it wasn't his fault, but sometimes I could tell there was a little bit of a decline there. And then seeing him kind of drop in the draft made me kind of feel bad for him. But I still expect him to show what he's been showing in College Station since he's been there. And same with Justin Lampkin. He's where Prager struggled. I would say Lampkin really stepped up and showed leadership on the starting rotation. And just the low ERA he had, especially this year, and I just saw a lot of kind of leadership potential in Lampkin, especially this past year.
Yeah, I mean, Lampkin was. I'm looking at the stats here. He had a pretty solid year for Texas A&M, 3.42 ERA through 84.1 innings. He had 98 strikeouts. Best game of the season was probably against Georgia, would be my guess, where it looks like he had the Aggies he threw a complete game shutout in a 6-0 win over Georgia, and he struck out 15 batters in that game, which was a career high, and that's going to be tough to beat at any level. So 15 strikeouts in one game is pretty phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I expect the majority of these guys to be successful at the next level. Shocker of the century.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
I'm picking Jace as my guy to kind of watch through this whole thing because he's been absolutely incredible for Texas A&M in his time in College Station. 188 games for Texas A&M, 68 home runs, all-time home run leader for the Aggies. So if nothing else, the dude can swing the bat, and he's going to swing it a lot in the MLB level, and I expect him to have a very successful career. But that's going to do it here for this episode of Locked On Aggies. We got a short show today because I am currently locked up at SEC Media Days, and I've had almost zero time to get a lot of stuff done. But we were able to fit a quick one in here tonight. And Aaron, I want to thank you for joining me. Tell them where they can find you on social media.
Sir, thanks for having me, Matt. My Twitter handle is at AJRaley03. That's pretty much my handle for most of my social media.
Yeah, and Aaron also does great work over at Texas A&M Aggies on SI, so go check him out there as well. But thank you for making Locked On your first listen of the day. For your second listen, please go check out the Portal Show. Brian Smith has the latest rumors, portal entries, and signings across college football. Be the most informed fan on the rapid changes to the college football landscape. You can find the Portal Show on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, give me a follow over at Texas A&M Aggies on SI and on X at Matt Galatzan. And we will see you next time.